Welcome to Stormin Chocolate. I'm Stormin Norman. Today's entry is number 75, the suite of songs Departure, Good Morning Girl, and Stay a While from Journey's 6th studio album, Departure. So let me get right to pissing off Chocolate. These 3 songs are labeled Departure Awhile in my Apple Music library because the suite starts with the instrumental Departure and ends with the song Stay a While. The song in the middle, Good Morning Girl, you get for free. You might ask, Stormin, why do you do this? And I would say, why do I piss off Chocolate? And you go, no. Why do you combine these 3 together? Overall, there are several Journey songs that blend together with almost no gap. On Infinity, we get Feeling That Way and Anytime, followed by La Doo Da and Patiently, and have combined these 4 into 2 combined songs. On Evolution, the album starts with the instrumental Majestic, and just as the echo fades out from the last power chord, Too Late starts up. So, combo. The next 2 songs, Love and Touch and Squeezin' and City of the Angels, have a paper-thin space between them, so small that radio stations will play them together as part of their 2 for Tuesday programming because it's built in. And there's another pair on side 2, Do You Recall and Daydream. Here, there is no gap, and even though the tunes are very different, the fact that one would have to do some gymnastics to separate them, like add a fade out to the end of the first one, the habit of playing the entire album front to back means that my mind is tuned to the pairing. So, why do I do it? Because Journey's album makes me do it, or I'd go crazy. This is actually the first Journey tune in the playlist, which is crazy because of how much I love the band. But I love Styx too, and we've only done one of theirs, and it was one that Chocolate picked. But the songs get picked according to what I feel at the time, when we get to a new group, and I mostly choose them from those identified as high priority. Or I might have just heard them on the radio or seen a YouTube video on the song or the band, and I'm reminded of a great song. And actually, the next song in this playlist did pop up on YouTube, so stay tuned for the bad pun at the end of this video to see what it is. So even though this is the first Journey song, it's from the 3rd album of the Steve Perry era, following Infinity and Evolution. Following this album, Departure, we got Captured, a live album, and Escape. And if you weren't living through this sequence of albums, you might not get the joke of Journey departing, getting captured, and then escaping. Before these 5 albums were the 3 early Journey LPs, their eponymous debut in 1975, and Look into the Future and Next over the following 2 years. And then Infinity and Beyond in 1978. I bought Evolution in the summer of 1979 after I got back from Germany, plus almost a dozen more to bring my collection up to speed. This album, released in March of that year, was still going strong, and Love and Touch and Squeezin' was a massive hit, all over the radio in the Bay Area. Departure, today's album, was released the following February on Leap Day, and I got it soon after. It then entered the catalog of albums and artists I tortured my roommate with. Additionally, both albums were committed to cassette tapes, which I listened to whilst playing the early computer game Adventure, also known as Colossal Cave. So they became embedded in my soul. Prior to forming Journey, guitarist Neil Schon and keyboardist Greg Rowley had been with Carlos Santana in his band. Rolly was one of the co-founders of Santana's band in the 60s and is most well known for being the primary lead vocalist, heard on such hits as Black Magic Woman and Evil Ways. Sean joined Santana in 1971 at 17 years old as a rhythm guitarist. Rolly left Santana in 1972, dissatisfied with the band's direction, and he and Sean formed the band that would become Journey the following year with manager Herbie Herbert. They gathered a pair of former members of Frumious Bandersnatch, a Bay Area psychedelic band, bassist Ross Valerie, and rhythm guitarist George Tickner. Initially, they also roped in Prairie Prince as drummer, but he left after a couple months before any recordings were made and eventually joined the Tubes. Ainsley Dunbar joined as the first official drummer of Journey at the beginning of 1974 and stayed through the recording of Infinity. We covered some of Dunbar's past in song number 65, Mandolin Wind. The first Journey album slowly crawled up the US Hot 200 chart, peaking at 138, 100, and 85 respectively, even with their amazing pedigree. Columbia Records, dissatisfied with the record sales, asked the band to hire an additional vocalist to shore up Greg Rolly, and Robert Fleischman came in for a couple months of touring and songwriting in 1977. However, there were management issues with his continuance. He was signed to another manager, and he left in late 1977. Steve Perry, who was back home in Lemoore, California, which is in the center of the Central Valley, due south of Fresno and northwest of Bakersfield, remember, geography nerd, took a call from Herbie Herbert, who had been given a tape from one of Perry's previous bands, Alien Project. Herbie took Perry on tour while Fleischman was still singer, and at one point, Perry sang for the band on stage while Fleischman was elsewhere during a sound check. After this, Herbie told the rest of the band that Perry was the new singer. The rest is history. Departure, the instrumental that starts the triplet, acts as a nice little précis for the short song that follows, Good Morning Girl. This latter song is less than 2 minutes long, so we're up to 2 minutes and 22 seconds when the third member of the triumvirate, Stay a While, starts. And while short at 2:48, it doubles the runtime to a total of just over 5 minutes, a nice length with 3 flavors. Good Morning Girl, to my ear, is a conversation between lovers, where our protagonist is checking in with the girl with whom he's just spent the night after having done the nasty the night before. The chorus then is him saying, good morning, and how do things stand between us? The fact that she's still there speaks volumes, hopefully, that things are copacetic.
Good morning, girl. How you been? Good morning, girl. There's love within. I see your face everywhere. I see your smile, your golden hair.
Like Desperado, which we covered as song 69, there are no breaks between the verses and choruses of this song. And there cannot be, since it's so short. It's also structured in reverse with chorus, verse, and chorus. So, after checking in during the first chorus, he waxes poetic and tells her, "These are the same feelings I had for my wife when she became my crush, and I too wrote poetry about it." He has a similar turn between the second and third choruses.
Oh, good morning, girl. How you been? Good morning, girl. There's love within. Good morning, girl. It's been long. Good morning, girl. To you the song.
Steve Perry is being Steve Perry at level 10 in this song. His wonderful voice spans a large range of highs and lows and is hugely expressive. I simply cannot match what he does, but that's never going to stop me from trying, especially on this short, feel-good song, nor the next. By the way, Big Red and I had a disagreement about that second line. I have always heard how you feel, and without me showing her a dozen lyrics sites, she agrees with all of them that it is how you been. So this irks me. On Stay a While, we get another good example of Gregg Rolie on piano, especially on this song that starts relatively quiet and then builds. The song has a banger of an opening like Cinnamon Road did, with a prominent drums and bass, and then Rolie's piano makes itself known. Then Steve Perry starts singing right when drummer Steve Smith does a double tap.
I'd do anything to hold you. I'd go anywhere to touch you. I'd do anything you want me to.
You would not be wrong in thinking this song, looking at that first verse, is a continuation of Good Morning Girl, or let's say it's part of the same universe, because these sentiments would logically precede those of the former song. I'd like you to stay a while, she does, and then they wake up together. Again, being a short song, there are 2 verses and a bridge, or maybe it's an outro. The second verse is waxing more poetic.
I'd sing any song your heart desires. I would sing out loud of love, sweet fires. Ooh, I do all this and so much more if you just stay with me a while.
You'll notice that in both cases, and let's just say all 3 cases, that the last line does not rhyme with the previous line, while in the verses, the first 2 lines do rhyme with each other. The bridge now is just an excuse for Steve Perry to show his range with vocal gymnastics. This time, we do get the band joining in with background vocals until the last impassioned request.
Reach out your hand, oh, to me. Oh, I'm falling. A minute more, I'm falling. I'm won't you just stay me a while?
I just got serious goosebumps listening to that last, "Won't you just stay with me a while," while writing this script. There wasn't anything in my life before this album came out that resonated with this song, but certainly this suite did become relevant 3.5 years later, when a cute red-headed girl wandered into my life. Neil Schon is credited with the instrumental ditty Departure at the beginning, while the other 2 songs are credited to Perry and Schon. While half the songs on the album are so credited, all band members have at least 1 credit. Before Greg Rowley retired from the band to start a family, Departure was his last album and tour, I really enjoyed the duality of Rowley and Perry in the lead vocal department. I said it before, listing Waters and Gilmore as another example, that I really appreciate shared vocal leads. As a matter of fact, song number 5, Head East's Never Been Any Reason, is a perfect example. Well, that's it for our first Journey suite, Departure Awhile, from the 1982 album Departure. Next time, we'll have to endure the saga of being on the loose, where Canada and the United States are moving worlds apart. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Good Morning Girl and Stay a While from the band's... Wait a minute. Does it say Journey in there at all?
Nope.
Wow. Change the word band to Journey. That's funny. It's a good thing we caught it. And I mostly choose them from those identified as high priority. But these 5 albums were the 3 early Journey... After I got back from Germany, plus almost a dozen more to bring my collection up.
No, that was just a disaster.
Disaster?
That was just a disaster, yeah.
After I got back from Germany, plus almost a dozen others. That would have been okay. Sean joined Shantana. Prior to forming Journey, guitarist Neil Sean and keyboardist Greg
No,
Rowley...
that just sounded bad.
That the last line does not rhyme with the previous line, while the
verses.
Get rid of the first the, so it should be while in the verses. Neil Sean is credited with I just got serious goopump. So stay with me a while. I just got serious goosebumps.
No, there should be a bigger gap.